everybody that's here with us. Like I said, I'm gonna kick proceedings off in normal fashion and share that. And let me just check. All right. I hear myself echoing. So that means the live stream is there. I'm gonna share that in the group. Just bear with me one sec, guys. I'm gonna post that just in case anybody has any problem. They can also join us on YouTube as well. Boom. So there you go. I'll also post that in the Zoom chat so that there's also, if anybody needs to send that out, they can send that out as well. So let me just go to the chat. Where we at? Okay, fantastic. I'm going to post that here. So again, if there's any reason, I know in the past we've had some few challenges with people getting on. So hopefully if they do have a problem getting on, they should be good. They should be good with that. Okay. All right. So with that said, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to rumble. I am going to share my screen. And I hope you guys, let me just minimize that. Yeah, let me share screen number 2. And just bear me 1 second. Share. Yeah, screen number 2. Boom. All right. Y'all should be able to see my screen now. It's loading a bit slow. Okay, but I think we're good. I think we're ready to roll. Don't know about you, but I am ready to go live. So if we get this recorded. Hey, welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to our Monday night presentation. Whether you are in the UK, whether you are in the US, Canada, any part of around the world, welcome to our call tonight. Really excited to be sharing with you this opportunity of a lifetime. And for me personally, I believe it's a product of a lifetime that arrived literally for me just over a month ago, maybe coming up to two months now, actually, I would say. And I first heard about this company and what they were doing in January. I had a friend of mine reach out to me, Glenn, telling me about a couple of different ventures. And he sent to me this water company. And lo and behold, that just literally was an absolute game changer from the time I had my opportunity to put my hands on the product, try the product for myself, and the rest, as they say, is history. So tonight we're going to be going through a lot of information. I do talk fairly fast. I'll be talking mainly on the product, and as it's a Monday, we'd like to talk money. So we'll be talking a bit about the compensation model for those of you who are interested in a sideline, part-time, maybe full-time way of earning capital for yourself, right? So I'm going to be cranking through the information, like I said, fast and furious. So this is a real dilemma in our 21st century living. Are you seeing the slides? Are they changing? Let me see. Yeah, okay. Real dilemma in our 21st century living, my friends. Our modern lifestyle is really making us sick. We are surrounded by convenience, as we would say. Anywhere you go, which country you go to, a lot of this kind of fast food and acidic food is causing a major problem to our health. Okay, in a nutshell, having it now and then is not a big deal. I kind of grew up on a lot of this food, right, due to just being convenient, me being busy, and wanting to just grab food on the fly. Of course, this stuff is is readily available, and sometimes that does come with a price if that becomes like more of a staple for your diet. And the foods that we get, when we go to the supermarket, we don't go and pick that nice green leafy vegetables. And the thing is, it's been sprayed to death, your apples, whatever the case may be, sprayed to death before we have a chance to even get it into our homes. So when we do get in our homes, you'll be surprised if you don't really wash this stuff out. And some people have been washing their vegetables and their fruits with this product that we're going to be talking about tonight, and they're saying, my God, what came out of it was something else. So again, the ice creams and things like that, right? It's having it now and then. It's not going to be a major detriment to yourself. I did have some ice cream yesterday and it was very good, but you do not want to make that a regular staple if you want to look after your well-being to the most level, the optimum level. Okay, so tonight we're going to be talking about that and ways in which we can help ourselves become more healthy in our 21st century lifestyle. So, this slide here is a really great reminder of kind of the foods we ideally want to be looking at, right? The stuff that we want to have on our plate. They do say you're meant to have all the colors of the rainbow on your plate. That may not be something that happens day in and day out, but the goal is to try and get as closely as we can to having that as a part of our day-to-day makeup, for sure, right? So there's got to be a balance, right? If you're going to be doing food one way, you do need to counteract it in another way. And the foods that have been there from time all of us came into this world are the best foods to get your hands on, right? The stuff that's planted, and ideally if you can plant your own, even fantastic, even better. But if you can't, then try and get the best that you can into your bodies. Now, almost 100 years ago, this gentleman here, Otto Heinrich Warburg, he won a Nobel Peace Prize. Peace Prize? He won a Nobel Prize. In fact, it should be a peace because it's such amazing peace that we're talking about here. And his thesis was on the primary cause and prevention of cancer. My friends, could you imagine back in 1931? I know none of you were around. And if you were, let me salute you, because that means you've lived a really strong and powerful life up to this point, right? There are people, of course, that are living well into their hundreds of years. Now, the goal is to get there. We're finding, me personally, I don't know about any of you guys, this year, 2026, there's been so many, unfortunately, people who are dying way before their time that we know of. We've been to funerals, and it's almost like we're talking to my family yesterday, and it's almost like week upon week there's a funeral going on. And we're not talking about necessarily people that are up in age. These are people that are younger than me, younger than my parents. So what is it all about? Acidity, my friends, could be a major contribution to why a lot of people aren't, with us today. That's the bottom line. Acidity. So acidosis, acidity of the blood, hypoxia, lack of oxygen. These are the two things, my friend, that this gentleman did a thesis on almost 100 years ago, right? Forming cancer due to these basic conditions. So as it says here, cancerous tissues are acidic tissues. Healthy ones are alkaline issues, right? That's just the basic premise of what we're talking about tonight. If you can get your body into a state where it's not as acidic and it's more alkaline, then guess what? You've got a better chance of your body being able to deal with the challenges we're talking about in 21st century living. Okay, so we want to get to that point. And what I'm going to share with you tonight is just information, yeah, education, me having a chat with you, and you deciding what you decide to do with that information. Okay, my background is IT and finance. I'm not a health professional, but I'm going to share with you information that got shared with me and it made a difference in my life, and hopefully you'll have the benefit of that as well. So let's just have a look at this. Cell oxidation, as we're talking about. I'm going to introduce you to free radicals. Okay, and if you've not heard of free radicals, it's not a pop band. It is something that takes place in your body. Okay, so when you have too much of that, it's not a good thing. You're going to end up in what you see on the right hand side, right? So rather than your cells being full of oxygen, getting what it needs, you're going to end up with your cells not doing too well. Okay, and you do not want that, right? You do not want the image on the right. As I go through this presentation today, my friends, just keep in mind, anything I share on the right, you do not necessarily want to have for yourself, okay? So a free radical is an isolated oxygen atom, and too much of that becomes harmful, all right? And we're going to talk about how we can reduce the amount of free radicals, excess free radicals that are going around in our bodies. As you can see here, the negative effects of that is things you do not want. You do not want to look older before your time. We know the beauty industry is a multi-billion-dollar industry because of that very reason. All right. So again, too much free radicals, you're going to end up in a situation like that. You know, growing up, I was always told an apple a day keeps the doctor away. I don't know about you, but I know today it'll be more than one apple, right? Way more than one apple to keep that doctor away. And we want to keep them away as far as I can from my household and hopefully from your household too, right? So this is why it's so important. How can we reduce acidity and free radicals in our body? I'm glad you asked because we're going to be doing a deep dive into that very question on this call today, right? So let's understand this chemical reaction in magnetized water. We're going to be talking magnetized, we're going to talk mineralized, and this video I'm going to play is just going to warm you up as to what's going to be sharing on tonight's presentation. So sit back, relax, and have a quick listen to this.
When we are thirsty, we fill a glass with tap water or drink some water from a plastic bottle. After all, water is water, right? Magnetized water is popular in Japan. But before we get to know its properties, it is important to understand how and what happens to magnetized water. If you take some water to analyze, you will notice that its molecules are disordered. This is because of the minerals. When submitted to magnetic fields, the molecules turn back into their normal state, which makes the water more beneficial to our health since it heightens the energetic balance of the body and strengthens the immune system in general. That's why magnetized water helps prevent many diseases of the human body. Did you know that more than 70% of our bodies are formed by water? We need to replenish water to eliminate toxins from the body, hydrate tissues and cells, help the kidneys, facilitate blood flow, to fight bloating and boost immunity. Some of the benefits of magnetized water are: helps in nutrition and hydration of cells, aids in cell cleanse, reduces blood acidity and the excess of free radicals in the body, increases the oxygen in cells and blood, makes the hair softer, moisturizes the skin, leaving it soft and healthy, aids in the prevention of many diseases, lowers blood sugar levels, preventing diabetes, helps prevent many types of cancer, reduces the risk of osteoporosis and fractures by increasing the bone density and bone resistance, avoids premature
Heard on that video is reason enough, right, to for you to want to stick around definitely to the end of the presentation. And we've got something, my friends, that
when we
you're
are
gonna,
thirsty, we fill a glass with
okay,
tap water.
let's move that on, that you're gonna want to stick around for. So we're gonna I'm gonna share this presentation with Simone, who I see who's on. So feel free, Simone, to hop on anytime you feel you want to interject here. So the chemical reaction of water is when it's basically super magnetized, okay, known as water hydrolysis. So we're going to introduce you to this concept. It's H2O, as we all know, is water, disassociates into OH minus and H plus. Okay, so what does that all mean? This means that we've got this cluster of ions that have been basically generated. And when you have minerals that's found in water, which is what we're going to be talking about, it reacts to these hydrolysis ions. So guess what? We have calcium and magnesium in a product that, guys, it's making a massive difference. So we're not just talking about magnetized water here, okay? We're talking about getting the minerals also into your water. And so this dolomite stone that we have as part of this product offering has a real dynamic effect, okay? So if you check this out, it says here, when consuming magnetized water, it reduces the body's acidity. I'm sure as you saw that video, gave you that, you know, concept, the benefits of doing that. And so we've got this alkaline hydroxides, which we want. We want, again, like I started from the start of the presentation, we want to get our bodies in a state where it's more alkaline more than it's acidic. Okay, these diseases of the body cannot thrive in an environment that's alkaline. They love environment that's very acidic. Okay, so again, we want to get our bodies in a state where it has a fighting chance of looking after itself, of repairing itself, of healing itself by utilizing the good things that we have. So check this out. As I mentioned, H2O disassociates into OH minus and H plus. So as I mentioned, that word free radical, right, that we spoke about earlier. When you drink the water, the hydrogen ions react with the excess free radicals in your body, forming water. So it's like, wait there, this free radicals that's been running rampant, I've got something I can take, that I can drink, and it will neutralize it. Yes, my friends, you heard exactly what I said. This is the absolute game changer, my friends. You know, I don't know about you, but I wasn't, as much as I knew that our bodies were made up of 70% or more of water, I wasn't drinking nowhere near enough. And as much knowledge as somebody can, can have, it's only when it's an applied knowledge. You could be the most intelligent person on the planet and you don't do nothing with that information. What's that good to the planet and yourself? Same with the water. I knew that I needed to drink more water, but to be honest, I couldn't stand it. To be honest, I couldn't stand it. I would need reminders to drink water until this product came my way a month ago. And I'm telling you, that's been a total game changer, right? So it's not just about the quantity, which was the problem for me. I wasn't drinking maybe more than maybe a liter and a half a day. My problem was that in this first instance, but the quality, because you could be drinking the regular amount of water, but you're still not feeling the benefits. You're still not feeling hydrated. Now, water determines disease. Water determines health. Appropriate, adequate water restores health. Ionized water hydrates, alkalizes, antioxidizes, and detoxifies it. Water can be used as medicine. This is Dr. Leia Ribeiro from Brazil. That's his statement. Now, I didn't know about this gentleman, but I'm glad he said it and not me, right? Because third-party documentation always beats conversation. I'm not the cleverest tool in the toolkit, but I do know that from probably about 30 odd years ago, I knew that your body is crying for water. There was a book written by a doctor. They call him Dr. Batman, but it's that just made it easy for them to pronounce his surname. But this gentleman again wrote books. Watch, you can go and Google him, go on YouTube, watch his information. He wrote a book called Your Body's Many Cries for Water, and I read that book over 30 years ago. And when I read that book, it opened my eyes up to what was possible just by drinking water. Okay, so I mean, he had gone into prisons where all different types of ailments these guys had, these ladies and gentlemen had in prison, and he was able to treat them with water. Can you believe that? With water, yes, something that we could either say yes or no to, and he was actually treated. And so a lot of times we might feel that, oh my goodness, I'm feeling hungry, and you're probably just dehydrated. You get a bit of a headache. Oh, let me go and reach for some pharmaceutical, and you're probably again dehydrated. Your brain itself needs water, right? So if your body's not getting enough water, guess what? Your body's gonna find a way to get it from somewhere. All right, and so hydration is so important. Water that has a difference. Isn't that right, Simone? Not every water is the same. Okay, you could just go to the store yourself and you see some water priced at this price, some is priced at 10 times the price. Why is that? Look on the bottle, it will tell you why. Oh, this one's got this in it, this one might have a pH level of that. But my friends, we're going to be talking about water that hydrates you. Okay, this product is the reason why I'm loving it, why I love drinking water, why now that's become my drink of choice. Whereas before, I would maybe want to get something else, some juice or whatever, right, as my daily staple. Now, give me water. I never thought I'd hear myself say that at the beginning of the year. but that's my reality, right? Water that doesn't hydrate, and against water that does hydrate. So, I was away over the weekend and had my water jug with me, and I made sure that this was topped up. I had, went out, got the water from a store, and I had this, and I was good. So I'm going to talk about ways in which you can take this water with you, so you do not have to be without it wherever you go. Now, what is this slide all about? Okay, what is it even here? Well, my friends, if you had, excuse me, if you had a fish tank, would you want it to be looking like the one on the right or the one on the left? Just like the lady, would you want to be looking like how she looked on the right or on the left? I think it's a no-brainer, right? Everybody would be like, yeah, we want the one on the left. You can see at the top of the tank there's movement. The water's alive. You can't even see in the one on the right. Okay, that is this typical reaction, my friends, of what could be happening for you. Okay, if your cells are swimming in acidic water, you're not giving it a chance, my friends, to even do what it's designed for. Okay, you're strangling it. You're not really helping the issue. Okay, and sometimes we just don't know. We don't know by drinking that soda, and I think it's a real big problem that we have in 21st century living with, enormous amount of healthcare being spent on young kids. Young kids are so obese. Like we've not seen anything like this before. Okay, and the refills. I live in North America. Go into a store, go into a fast food chain, and you can just refill that soda, that sodium, until your gut is full to the brim, right? You think that's going to be doing good? You have to counteract the amount of water over to the amount of soda that you're drinking. So, imagine you have 1 liter of that stuff, or 2 liters. You have to multiply that by several factors of water just to even get some parity there. So this is what we're dealing with, my friends. It's not just what we're eating, it's what we are drinking. And what we're not drinking is also the problem, right? We're not drinking enough water, which was my issue. So again, I literally just came back from Niagara Falls. It's beautiful. I mean, it's one of the most iconic falls in the world. And just being there, you felt the power. You felt alive, the energy of the water. This is what we're talking about, my friends. Imagine you can't obviously be right near the falls where you are 24/7, where you live. But when you do go to the beach or you go to a falls, it's a different, you feel alive, right? And so our water needs to be like that. We are dealing with something that is active. Water, movement, okay? The product we're going to be sharing with you magnifies the water, brings it alive, gets it moving, gives it energy, which is so important to the whole process of us taking in this stuff here. So again, I'm going to play a short video that breaks down the interaction of this product and water and your cells. Okay, so 2 minutes, my friends. Again, sit back.
First, the water that most people drink has lost its original structural characteristics from when it was alive in nature. In springs, streams, and rivers, water is constantly moving. This favors its oxygenation, in addition to its structure being composed of small molecules, which increases its hydration power in the body. When water is stored or kept in containers, its surface tension is altered. Thus it becomes much heavier, with the formation of large molecule clusters, which are completely disorganized and lose oxygen. This molecular change compromises the penetration of water into cells that form organ tissues. But the original characteristics of water, so necessary for a good cellular hydration, can be restored. This is where magnetic treatment comes in. When water is subjected to a magnetic field, an event called hydrolysis occurs, which means breaking up of water. That is, the movement caused by the molecules causes a rupture of the clusters and promotes rearrangement into much smaller structures. Thus, these H2O molecules penetrate the cells much more easily, promoting better cellular hydration and cleaning. The second point, observed in the various studies carried out with magnetized water, is that it contributes to a reduction of excess of free radicals. How does this happen? When water undergoes magnetic treatment, there is an ionic dissociation, that is, the H2O water molecule, formed by 2 hydrogen atoms and 1 oxygen atom, breaks up, releasing hydroxyl ions and hydrogen ions. Excess free radicals that are present in the body are negative ions, and they combine with hydrogen ions, forming new H2O molecules, thus removing them from the body. This is a very simple chemical equation that has been observed by several researchers. The third point is about the contribution to the maintenance of blood alkalinity, helping the mechanisms of our body. In hydrolysis, as we have seen, there are negative hydroxyl ions left over. This hydroxyl reacts with magnesium and calcium ions present in vital environments of our body, forming alkaline hydroxyls, in this case magnesium and calcium hydroxyls. These reactions help in the maintenance of blood pH and oxygen content. It is for all these reasons that water treated magnetically helps in the maintenance of good health.
All right. So there you go, my friends. He said it.
First,
He's agreeing with me. So each cell in our bodies, it has an entry point, right? So as he was discussing there, and as I've been discussing from the start, is that we have these 3 things that our cells want. They need to be neutralized, right? They need nutrients in them. They need to be, hydrated, and they need oxygen. So if it's not getting that, you're going to have this situation here. And this typically happens with your regular water, right? Where you have these clusters of water, as you saw in the video. So water without magnetic treatment, it's challenging. It's a hard process for that to be able to get into your cells. So this is typically what happens. You have that bottleneck, right? Where it just cannot get in. All right. So this prevents the penetration of molecules into the pores of the membrane. So you're only getting partially hydrated, which is why some people are drinking, and they still feel thirsty, they still feel, that they're not hydrated at all, and they're drinking enough water. Nothing's really going on. Now, check this out. When you have magnetized water, it's breaking up the clusters. It's now allowing that to go into your cells. It's becoming more light, better absorbing water. So it breaks up those clusters, decreasing water hardness, promoting hydration, and total nutrition of cells. This is exactly what we want, and this is why so many people are just loving this product. Okay, magnetized water. So we're going to talk about the 3 benefits: the alkalining of the blood, reducing excess free radicals, and improves oxygenation. That is absolutely key. That is just staple. As I started on the presentation, let's get our bodies to a state where we've got a fighting chance by drinking enough water. Secondly, what is the water doing for us, for our cells? All right. So if you want to look up, you can check out, psilocybin. This is a technology that has been created to break down these clusters of the water. You can go online and do your research, and I'm going to be talking about this company Tymol, because Tymol has really changed the game, right? Really changed the game in the short period I've been exposed to it. And we're fortunate we've got Simone here, has been involved with the company way longer than me, and she's seen firsthand, being with the company, and actually visited the company, where she's at the corporate head office fairly recently, just a couple of weeks ago, right, Simone?
Yes. Hi, everybody. Good evening.
Hey, welcome.
Yes, thank you so much. Well done. I love to listen to you, so that's why I've been quiet. Very
Yeah, no problem. Bless you.
Yeah, so this company, I've been work with this company about 4 years, and this project is amazing. It's really amazing, and that's why I start to see the benefits in my family. First, in my daughter. My daughter used to suffer a lot with cramps, and after I saw the result on her, I decided to understand more about this project. And I went to Brazil, And I went to the company, I met the owner, everybody, the daughters worked together with him. And was amazing to be there and see how much they love this project. Everybody who works there, they have the same feeling about this project, because this project is not just like a business, it's something more, is more involved with helping people. And this is my mission. At every house, if it's a mobile phone, go to the house, my product go as well. This is his
Mm.
mission, because it's needed. He say, when someone think about your health, you forget about the problems. If you have a problem in your health, you don't care about any problem in your life. It's nothing important. That's why he say you have a chance to help every day someone. Every day, when you talk about this project, you give a chance for the other person to know is something amazing, and you need it. Everybody drink water. Everybody drink, we needed water. But like Leroy say, he didn't like the water before, and I know a lot of people didn't like don't like the water. I used to think, oh my God, I drink a lot of water, but I drink a little bit, a little bit. In the end of the day, I check, I did 1 liter. And I thought I was drinking a lot. I had no idea. I was not drinking enough, because I talk a lot, so I was drinking a little bit. But then when I started to study about the water, then I realized we need to do this every day. We need to talk to people every day, because a lot of people think like, any water is water. Doesn't matter. Water, Simone, what are you talking about? But when you start to try, when you drink this water, you try this water, you're going to say, no. Water is a difference. It's completely different,
Exactly.
isn't it? So this is the point.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, is the point.
Yeah, absolutely. So this is the star of the show, Sulosimo. This is the product. Nearly knocked my water over. This is the product that is being such a game changer. So there's two different sizes, and this is the mega one that treats up to 20 liters of water. It's funny because I was doing a video in a coffee shop today because I had my order. There's a 3 liter version of this. They're both, do the same thing, just treats different quantities. And the blue one is the magnet that lasts about 30 years, and the green one lasts up to about 3 years. So imagine it's not something that you need to buy next month, next week, next year. You're good till 2029. Let's see what 2029 looks like. So you're good, you're covered for at least 3 years for the minerals one anyway. And so as we mentioned, the effects of magnetized water, alkalization of the body, the blood, increasing bone mineral mass, and then blood oxygenation, the things that we've been talking about. So we have that. These two work together. The dynamic duo, I call them, the Batman and Robin, right? So, I was there. I was filming a little clip ahead of tonight's meeting, and there was a guy that came over to me, and he's like, "Oh, what's that? What's that water?" He must have either heard me or just saw it, and I was like, "Oh, yeah, this helps with the water, so that it's got a way to help magnetize water." And he goes, "Oh, that's so it's alkaline." I said, "Yeah, it not just the water. We're talking more than that." But if you want more information, I'm going to be sharing some information tonight. And then I took his number, sent him the details for tonight's meeting. I don't know if he's on or not, but my friends, people are around us all the time. And because the other question he was asking me is, "Oh, where can I get it from?" I said, "Well, you can't just go to the high street or go on Amazon. I'm a franchisee with the company, and so if you're interested in knowing more, take my details and blah blah blah. We'll go from there." So everybody on this call right now has a awesome opportunity if that's what you're after. When I talk a bit later about the business side of things, if you do want to go and share this, because so many people need this information. I didn't know nothing about this. I'd heard of magnetized water, but no way could I have believed it would have helped me so much in the short period of time. And so when we go through testimonials, you'll hear a bit more about that. But people are in need of this. It's so easy to take with you. I have my my water bottle. I know Simone never leaves without her water bottle, right? You know, it's so funny because listening to her daughter one time saying she left it somewhere and she didn't drink water, you know, until she got her water back. And it is such a difference. It makes such a difference when people drink this water. And so, you know, you have many different applications in which you can use it. If you've got filter, great. You're even having a better start of the water that you're drinking from. And you've got many different ways in which many different applications in which you can go and check this out. So again, you can go online, you can do a search for Selosimo on YouTube. You'll hear testimonials. Like I said, we're going to be sharing some testimonials in a little bit here. But as Simone said, the gentleman who made it all happen is this gentleman here, Carlos Henrique. You know, he is the brainchild behind this, and he is still there. 22 years later, his daughter is involved. You know, his son-in-law. So it's a whole family. It's a whole legacy, and people got a mission here. You know, this isn't just about another business. There's not another Me Too business out there. You know, this is for me, it's a game changer. You know, and again, you just see here, it said he wants to provide health and quality of life for people through high quality water that truly hydrates. Okay, so this is what he's achieved. That's exactly what he's done, right? Company's been around. I've got to change the slide. 22 years. What month is that, Simone? Is it next month or this month? No, it would be next month, right? That is 22 years or more that it's been around. So imagine, yeah, is it 22 years next month?
Yeah, no, it was last month. We
It
need
was last month.
last
Wow.
month. Yeah, February. Yeah.
Wow. Oh my days. So yeah, definitely needs updating.
Yeah.
So 22 years in the market. So this company isn't on trial here. You know, we're not, you know, looking for people to do a test to see if it works. No, it works. You know, ask the thousands of people in Brazil that have been benefiting from this, and now we are expanding this into different markets for people who've seen the vision, they've tasted it, they've tasted the product, they felt the benefits. And it's just Simone was saying, you know, people try this product and they want to tell somebody about it. I can't shut up about it. It's just a normal thing. You know, somebody at church the other day, they were drinking water, they were saying about this and that. I said, oh my goodness, you've got to check out what I'm doing regarding water. It's the easiest conversation to have. Do you drink X amount of water? Do you like water? Nah, I don't like it. Don't like the taste. I was just like you. Listen what happened for me. And it's just, you're just being truthful. You're not here trying to sell a product. You're just being your truthful self. Somebody who's tried the product. And for those of you who haven't tried it, try and get to somebody who has it so they can give you a sample. Then you won't be the same again. It's pure simple as that. Do your research. There's scientific evidence and proof out there. 52 articles published on Google Scholar. So I didn't even know there was a Google Scholar. So you can go on Google, not your regular Google, just Google Scholar, and you can look up these documents. And again, you know, just want to go back to this slide here. This slide was presented to Timor after 10 years of them being in business. So I always say this, my friends, documentation beats conversation. You may not know me from a tin of paint, but when somebody, a third party, tells you about something, what is in it for them? No, they're telling you because they are given an award. They're certifying that this company, and if you read this, and this comes in every product, right, that gets shipped out. It says here, by the World Health Organization, officially declared the recognition of the suitability of the Brazilian company Timor Ltda as the only one complying with the standards and requirements of institution of adopting a system of magnetic water. You can read that in your own leisure. Guys, this is 10 years after the fact. This gentleman that we're speaking about did something that most people don't. We know a lot of people that talk the talk. They talk, oh, I want to do this, I want to do this, I want to do this, and they shoot all over themselves. This gentleman decided that he was going to do something about it, sell up whatever it was, because he had that belief. And because one man had that conviction and he got his family to do tests and check it out, that's why we're here 22 years later, why we're having that ripple effect of people benefiting from this product. Okay, So again, we're expanding over 20 countries around the world. There's some countries that aren't even listed on there that people are utilizing, trying the product. You know, I had my friend whose mum was traveling to Ghana. You know, we've got people in different parts of the world, Nigeria, all over, right, that are trying the product. We've got a doctor in Nigeria making a huge difference with his patients, right? So many people are seeing the benefits of this. Okay, so just so you know, we're not here to say that we are now, you know, uh, medical professionals, right? No, this product, Psilocimol, is not intended to cure disease, rather to magnetize water. What we've been speaking about, ladies and gentlemen, magnetization of the water. So this will be an adjunct into health treatment and will improve your quality of life by reducing acidity and free radicals in the body, just as it says. You know, it does what it says on the tin, right? It's advertised that way because it does what it says. And we're going to be hearing from people who have benefited from, you know, being on this product. This gentleman here, again, there's a video that accomplishes this as well. So whoever's invited you on can send that to you. And this blew me away. Like, you know, again, didn't even realize to this degree how this product could do that. So again, if anyone's got a testimony they want to share, please raise your hand. We'll have to hear from you, hear how it's going. I hear some stories that people tell me in private and they don't want to come on camera and say anything, and I wish they would, because their testimony just is mind-blowing, absolutely mind-blowing. But I get it, not everybody wants to be on camera, on camera and out there, but it's going to help so many other people, you know, just by hearing your story, hearing your testimonial. And so for me, that's why I'm loving this, because for years, you know, when I hit my 50s, I was fine. I was, you know, had no worries about health challenges or whatever. And then I started to get these pains and, you know, this sciatica pain. I didn't even know how to spell the word. And I was getting that bad feeling. And I, you know, later on found out it was, you know, it's the nerves and all this kind of stuff. Anyway, that kind of got taken care of. But I still had this real pain in my hip. And it would come now and then, and when it would come, it would like literally grip me, and I'm like, what is going on here? Anyway, being to the chiropractor on a regular, you know, it was I had a plan with him, so I was going there once a week, at least once a week, maybe twice a week to start with, and going to physio and having tests done, and nothing, my friends. You know, not to say that they weren't good, because they're good in their own right. It's always good to get your body straightened out and stuff, but nothing dealt with this problem. Now, I take a trip. I'm in the UK. I'm getting ready. I hear about this product. I needed to be in the UK. And I'm like, one of the most exciting things for me, guys, was that I wanted this product. You just don't even know. I'm like, I was so buzzing, like, oh my gosh, I'm hearing all these stories, all these testimonials. I want the product for myself. I go over there now and I get this product. And I tell you, within a week, I'm talking to somebody and I totally forget I've got this pain that's been, you know, really a pain in the rear, right? It's really been a pain. And so I've been now on the product, I would say close to 2 months, maybe 7 weeks, something like that. And I've not even got the pain that I had though for those years that I've just had to put up with it because I couldn't get to the bottom of it. So for me, if I had to fly to the UK just to get the product, it was worth the journey, right? And that in itself was definitely worth the journey. So that was my story, and I'm sticking to it. So my friends, if anybody wants to share, please raise your hand. I'd love to hear from you. I'm going to go for a couple of these different testimonials because I think they're just mind-blowing. This one here, this gentleman, you know, his before and afters, you know, this, I don't know if it's bad sunburn, psoriasis, I don't know what it is, but that looks extremely painful. And for that to go from that skin condition to this is absolutely amazing. So that in itself was just mind-blowing of what the product be doing. Again, this is somebody who, I think, Simone, this guy had diabetes, diabetic, right, with this issue.
Yes, this guy is diabetic, and he's got a big problem in his legs, and it took a long time. it didn't heal. And then when he started to drink the water and wash it, it was a big difference, big difference. And he thought he's gonna have to cut, isn't it, his leg, because it was really, really bad. And it's something like I met João. João is the guy with him, and he's the
Right.
number one selling in Brazil. And he's amazing. He's really amazing. He's go everywhere. Every day he work. He says, Simone, this is not a work. This is
Yeah.
really go out for helping people. And he's doing amazing job in Brazil.
Fantastic. Awesome. Yeah. So I love that. It's just like this one here, this gentleman here, same thing. He had I believe he was waiting for amputation, right, of the leg,
Yeah.
and he didn't have to go through that, so which was amazing.
Yeah.
I'm going to show you. I'm just going to forward it on a little bit. It's in Portuguese, but again, he had a real bad condition there, and unfortunately, my auntie, actually had to get her leg amputated. And she's 80 years old. I mean, that's an unfortunate thing to go through, and I saw this firsthand. And in fact, when I was in the UK, I recently, she was in hospital. You can see him there showing um, the product in a slightly different format. And from what he had there to looking at what his foot is like, my goodness, serious healing that took place. And if you saw well, I saw the picture of my auntie's foot, and who knows if this could have prevented her to have the surgery, but she had to have it done. And we know people who are diabetic, and they've got to be very careful. If they get anything going into their foot, they're not going to necessarily feel it, and then it can cause issues, as we're seeing here. So anything that can help, obviously, is a major benefit, right? So this gentleman here, of course, he had this story there. You have also, animals, pets, people have, right? Again, they drink water, right? So I don't know the full story behind this, but you can see the before and afters on this one. And I believe in the plants, in the crops, right? 40% more production was done on the crops. So you can say some people may be skeptical. Is it really true? Are these, you're just saying that because you want to sell something? Guys, you can't make it up with a pet, right? You can't make it up with a plant. So if you're getting more production, and I believe even the cows, their milk production, they were delivering more. So again, this you can't make up. And again, I just hark back to the certificate that the company received to validate that what they're doing is for real. Okay, so my friends, that is the information I'm going to share with you about the business, the product side of things. We do say, like I said, on a Monday, I do like to dive into the money. And for those of you who are interested in, you may want to lock arms, you may see the vision of helping many people with this product. You want to share it, you have a network, you have individuals that you want to share this with. The company will reward you, okay? Like any company out there, they have a referral scheme, they have a referral model, and you can set yourself up in business and partner up with them and lock arms with us and join us on this journey of sharing the goodness of Timol. So I'm not going to go through the full-blown presentation, but I'm just going to touch on there's six different ways in which you can earn money with the company, right? So not going to go through all six of those. If those of you who are interested in knowing more about that, obviously get back in touch with the person who's invited you on to tonight's meeting. But we're going to be talking about, a great business is derived from something which is a great product. Okay, if you didn't have something worth chatting about, talking about, this company wouldn't survive for 22 years, period. It may last 22 months. And I was having a conversation with a friend of mine, and I said, listen, the other businesses that I've got myself involved with, this one, head and shoulders. There's no issues about will the company pay? Will they run off with your money? No, it's stable, 22 years. So that's amazing in itself. Let alone some companies, if they do 22 months, we're celebrating. 22 years. So that really tips my hat off to them. So anyway, we're talking about a great product. Everybody needs it. As you know, we need to drink water. And the problem is we're solving a major problem of helping people drink more water. If it just did that in itself, would be great. But the side effects, the benefits, the good side effects are immense. So we're going to talk about just the aspects of the business proposition we have here. You can earn money through building a network of individuals, friends, family, associates, or people who want what you've got. Okay. And you can also do what we call direct sales, you know, selling a product that people want to buy from you, and you earn a retail commission off that. Okay. So there are the two primary ways. Those ways incorporate the 6 different ways in which you can get paid. So, you know, you can earn a monthly income from that, and through building leverage through your team's effort. So traditional business, we know why this industry of, you know, direct sales, referral marketing has been around for decades, right? Longer than most of us have been alive. Traditional business, you know, we have the industry, we have the wholesaler, we have the distribution now, it goes to the supermarket. And guys, this is what happens with my water. When I get my water from the supermarket, the water is filthy. I don't know how long it's been sitting in a warehouse. They don't even bother try and clean it. It's just dirty. And these big jugs, you know, these 15-liter jugs, I buy these and they don't even bother cleaning them. I should actually boycott it, but it's just so convenient. But I do need to make a noise about it. It's terrible. Anyway, you imagine that's been sitting there. You think you're getting fresh water? No, you're getting water that may have been sitting there for ages. And then you buy it, right? Dust and everything. You're paying for that. So lots of people in the middle, right? Everybody's getting a bit of profit. With our model, we cut out all of that, right? Product, you know, the company, Tmall, comes to you, from you to the customer. So now my products, you know, people that want the product, they reach out to me, I reach out to them, and we do the transaction. Okay. So you lock in that profit, you keep that in, you be your own business. Okay. So this is very cash rich, you know, business model that we're talking about here. I'm just going to give you a quick example of if you wanted to share what we're doing here, and you did, say Monday to Friday. Okay, you gave yourself the weekends off, and you did 2 a day. You did 1 in the AM and 1 in the PM, Monday to Friday, just like trading the markets, right? Monday to Friday, and you're not doing the presentation yourself. You're not saying, okay, John, Julie, Jack. They don't need to be called those names. You need to sit down for the next 30 odd minutes. I'm going to share with you a presentation, and they're just rolling their eyes and they're falling asleep. No, you're going to just share with them some information, right? You can send them a 2-minute video on what we're talking about. You can send them a replay if they want to know more information, or invite them onto a live meeting where they can hear from other people, maybe get a question answered if they so wish. You do that twice a day, my friends. 1 in the morning, how long does that take? Maybe a few minutes, bit of small talk, and you send a message out. That's it. You're done. And you do that. And let's say as a result of that, you end up getting people interested in buying the product. So I'm just going to give you an example with one of the products. This is the Mega Combo. Okay. This product, it has a commissional price in it. And if you do more than 5 purchases of this product, your price goes down. Like anything, right? Costing numbers. This one, if you do over 5, you are now making, I'm sorry for those of you in different countries and stuff, you're going to have to get your calculator because these are in euros. But you're going to earn 180 euros, okay, on the product. So let's say you did 1 sale out of the, you know, you're inviting, sharing, whatever, and I don't know what you're doing during the day, but you did 1 per week, 1 sale a week. So you got 4 weeks in a month. You made $720, okay? Not bad. Very part-time income. You did that and you sold, maybe end up selling 3 of these in a week. Now I think the gentleman that Simone was talking about, I think he does about 15 sales or so a week. But let's just keep it into context here, right? So you did 3 in a week. That's over 2,000 euros in the month. Sorry, 3 combos that end up $2,000 as a result of that. And if you did 5 in a week, that's 3,600. This isn't chicken feed here. This could pay for a car note. Could pay your mortgage with this money. It can pay for a trip. I mean, only you know what extra money you could do with right now, right here in March 2026. This could be your reality, my friends. Now, we have a referral model, as you heard. Somebody joins a business, we have a franchise model, and again, depending on where you are in the world, just going to keep it in euros. From 80 euros, somebody joins, you get paid 80 euros for them joining you in business. If they join you at the gold level, and before I move on to that, the silver level comes with one product, the mega one that I spoke about, that comes in your franchise. The gold one comes with the mini one and the mega one, and you earn 161 euros. And the platinum one, the big daddy, is 322 euros. And again, you can, and that comes with the two products, you can upgrade yourself from one level to another once you start earning. So you're putting back into your business, and that allows you to earn more money from the compensation model by doing that. Okay, so you're not just joining and these levels, you're joining because you're going to earn a bigger slice of the pie in the income stream, right? So again, we have a quick start bonus. If you get going in your first 45 days, okay, and you share it with your friends, and your friends share it, you get an indirect bonus. And this is showing in Brazilian reais. Again, so it could be a $30 odd bonus or upwards, depending on the franchise model, from silver to platinum. Again, that's for those who want to get off to a fast start and get their business launched, okay, which I recommend. If you're going to get started, why not get started fast? These are other ways in which you can earn money and progress through the company. Again, I'm not going to go through all of those, but this is just showing you, released with 3 personals, 3 people you personally introduce, opens up another stream of income that you can benefit from the company. Okay, this just shows you what we call a binary bonus. So we have a model that you have a team on the left, team on the right, and as your business expands, you can earn a fraction of what's going on if somebody joining the business. So this isn't necessarily you bringing on those people. You've brought on those people you personally know, and they in turn have shared it with their people. So now you're leveraging your time and effort. You're in different parts around the world. People are benefiting from the product. They're joining the business, and you're getting the reward for that because you got the thing started in the first place. Plus, you get what we call a unilevel bonus, which is basically directs people that you have in the business. So this goes from anywhere from the gold franchise up to the platinum franchise, and then you start earning. If people are buying the product, you also earn a fraction of that as well every month. And to join to be part of the franchise model, it starts from 840 euros up to 2,460 euros. So again, we have a lot of people who started off with the product. They like the product so much, they're telling people about it. They're like, you know what? I might as well become a franchisee. I get the product in the franchise. I can retail that, offset my costs. And ladies and gentlemen, the benefits, and I'm not a tax advisor, but the benefits of running a home business or being in business, period, is very advantageous to your bottom line. Okay? So again, we have a whole career plan for those of you who like traveling, those of you who want to win awards, get these points. Each point, each month accumulates, and you can benefit financially from those points. Again, if you want to scale yourself and go for the ranks, we go from anywhere from what we call a leader position all the way up to black diamond and beyond. And we have everything here for you in between that. So training, way of expanding your business and growing your knowledge around this company, around this product. So with that, my friends, I will bid you a good rest of your night. I must say, well done for those people on Monday. Let me just stop the share. Those of you on not Monday, on Saturday, that had the event in London, people came out, people benefited from the product. I had a couple of guests. They came, they left with product, and so well done for those people who put that meeting together. I know Simone was there, Natalia, virtual presence there from Simone, Natalia, and Sam, and whoever else was involved. Kudos to you. This is really a way for people to really experience the product and see for themselves. And so with that said, I will see you guys on the next meeting. We have same channel, same time, this Thursday coming. We'll be diving again more into the product again, hearing different testimonials from different people, and I'll make sure I get this recording out so that you can share it with those who couldn't make it tonight. All right, so with that said, I bid you guys a fantastic rest of the night. Let me just end the recording. Yes, and we are out. Okay, take care guys. God bless you.